Welcome to TLTV, Joy and Pleasure Celebrated in Wine. I'm here today in Twann. I'm here with the Beckustator Yves Beck, and we're going to actually go on a little wine journey. We go from France to Switzerland and back to France. And Yves, please introduce yourself, as actually many people will actually know you.
Well, first of all, hi everybody, nice to be here with Remy and talking about wine.
If I just look at the lineup here, it's really interesting, as there's some new stars to be discovered, I'm sure. But wine connects all the dots. It connects people, it connects good food. Wine is something where, like as well with TLTV, Joy and Pleasure Celebrated in Wine, that is where wine brings all the pieces together.
Yeah, wine is culture.
Absolutely.
Wine belongs to the culture, has very much identity. Depending from the countries, depending from this very nice word, terroir, whatever that means. Usually terroir means just impressions of people, area, climate. This is what terroir is actually. There is no wine which is the same as another wine. That makes it basically very interesting.
That brings up the point, as wine is a very individual thing. So when you listen to us tasting the wines, I always invite you to try it out yourself. Because wine is a very private thing. Like if you hear people like us, we describe the wines, we tell them how we see the wines and how we think they taste. You should try out for yourself and make your own opinion, because that is the most important thing with wine. And I said, let's not wait any longer, because we're gonna kick off with something, is the Blanc de Chasse-Spleen. And Yves, Chasse-Spleen is one of my, be honest with you, when I got interested in wine when I was living in Paris, Chasse-Spleen, the red one, I didn't know at the time they actually made a white one. I discovered it because they offer really good wines for a very moderate price. This costs around 23 euros a bottle. And I'd say let's kick it off, because I want to pick your mind on what you think of these wines. So now we start with the first wine, which is the Blanc de Chasse-Spleen. It is 65% Semillon and 35% Sauvignon Blanc. And 2013. And 2013, Yves, was, as well as you know, a very challenging year. It was a difficult year where something that I have seen when visiting a lot of the chateaus is that fruit selection was key. Fruit selection was key to producing good wines, as they had a very bad yield. Same in Germany, many countries. Which region as well did very well in 2013?
Well, the surprise came from Vallée du Rhône. Like northern Rhone Valley, where they had a very good year actually, which is pretty much an exception, because mostly in Europe it was difficult, as it was a very wet climate, humid.
Yes.
So they had it's always the question, how long can I wait to pick up?
It is the timing thing. Yes.
It's a question of timing. On the one side, you have to pick up when the grapes, the berries are ready. Right? So you can't pick up too early, obviously. But it's important to pick up healthy grapes.
Absolutely.
And this was the problem in 2013, that suddenly it was very important to pick up as fast as possible to get the best possible quality. This was really a challenge.
It was very difficult, but I was surprised, and I'm looking forward to trying this to see what was produced as Chasse-Spleen, because if I just think of the 2000 Chasse-Spleen, one of my favorites, it is an incredible wine. But let's get started. So first of all, thank you for being here, Yves.
Yeah.
And looking forward. Merci. And as well for the glass, by the way, this is the René, this is the Gabriel glass we're using. And as you have seen on my journey through Bordeaux, I've used this quite a lot. And I think for this particular wine, it's one of the best glasses out there.
It's getting more and more popular in Bordeaux, actually, the Gabriel glass. It's a very good universal glass, what you can use for red wines, for white wines, even for sparkling wines. I'm not the glass addict, fetishist. I don't really care about the glass. I just care about how good the wine is. But I must honestly say this glass is really very positive because you have an elegant glass for several wines. You don't need many different kind of glasses. After all, it's also a personal choice. But
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'd say.
But it's still more interesting talking about the wine.
Absolutely, but never underestimate the glass. It's something I keep pushing because the glass, it's like a pair of glasses on your nose. You can see things very differently.
Okay. So, and usually, but the bigger the glass is, the best is.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
yes.
Yeah. We do that because we would like you to understand us clearly.
What is your initial impression of the Blanc de Chasse-Spleen?
First of all, the quality of the wine. The quality is very good. There is nothing to complain about. What has this wine? Basically, it's fruity. It has a good structure. It's a bit
nice citrus notes.
Yeah, it's citrus, and it's when you get the wine in the mouth, it's very fruity, also a bit crispy. This gives some freshness. So this is a nice wine which is fresh, and which is nice to drink. You can drink it as an aperitif, as a starter, but you can also get it with fish.
It is something. What I like about it is actually is the fact that it is very fresh. Important as well. Do not serve this too cold. A lot of people drink their white wines way too cold. This should be 11, 12 degrees, like a vintage champagne. Perfect. And what I like about it is the acidity. Like you could actually.
This is the freshness actually.
This actually with the nice oysters, this would work very well.
Okay, could you get some, please?
No. So that's I've lost there. But
right.
Imagine this, being on the Gironde right now, where this is created, and enjoying some nice oysters. So how would you note a wine like this from a scoring perspective, Yves?
You know, I talked about the quality of the wine. Huh? So obviously this is a very good quality wine. Honestly, if that was a blind tasting, I would not really think first of Bordeaux. So the wine is good, but I'm missing the identity. This is what I'm missing.
It's very accessible.
Absolutely.
It has no flaws. It lacks the perspective. Where this is a very everyday drinking wine. It's very enjoyable. So from a scoring perspective, how would you settle it in?
I think I would give this wine 86 points.
I think I agree. It was 84, 85, and I think 86 is deserved because it's interesting to try the whites from Bordeaux.
Absolutely.
There are a few more, but the white of Chasse-Spleen is definitely one to watch. 2013 has some aging potential as well, and 2-3 more years, definitely you can do that.
Oh yeah, sure. The acidity gives a good background for aging. Yeah.
Absolutely. So this was the first one, and now we progress to another part of the world. We go to something quite exciting, Yves, I have to say. And because this is a Chardonnay from the Bielersee, and that is the lake near Biel, that's why it's called Bielersee in German. And it is something special. It's 2014, and Chardonnay from Bielersee, and you actually know the winemaker. And I'll take the honors of pouring that. As being honest with you, I get a little sniff from the actual nose of this particular Chardonnay. And it brings back memories, to be very honest with you, of some of the neighbors we have actually on the table here. But what can you tell us about the terroir of this particular wine? 100% Chardonnay?
This is 100% Chardonnay, which has grown in barrels. Part of it in barrels, part of it not in barrels. And it's really outstanding wine. I'm very impressed about this wine. Why? Because it's a Chardonnay. Actually, you might remember the famous ABC story where no one wanted to drink Chardonnay anymore because it was just too mainstream. The old Chardonnays were tasting more or less the same, and there we got back to the wines. I was talking about identity a few minutes ago. Here we are really in the glass. So you have a mix of terroir, of the area where the wines comes. The soils are from a calc. The climate is a continental European climate, not too warm, not too cold, and it's also, of course, the impression of the winemaker, the expression of the winemaker.
So I have to say, like, I've been living in Switzerland for quite a few years, and the funny thing is, when I did the nose, I was thinking of Burgundy. That was the first thing that came to mind. If you would have told me this was Swiss, I wouldn't have known. And if you give it a nice shaky shake, and it has the wonderful toast aromas. You get some light citrus, you get some mild grapefruit, and I haven't even tasted it yet, but just for the nose, Yves, this is beautiful. I mean, for me, this is very exceptional, so I have to taste this. So.
I like it when you say it remembers it about Burgundy, because Chardonnay is a variety coming from Burgundy. So this is a compliment for the winemaker, actually. And the point is, here we have a really great complexity between fruit, between barrels, between aromas, like you were talking about citrus, or minerality.
You get nice minerality. Like what I'm getting is a lot of sweet wood, not licorice, but you know the sweet wood. As a child, you used to chew on that. You get some of that. It is wonderfully balanced, and this is still very young. Where is it hiding? Here. This is 2014. If you think of drinking this in around 2-3 years' time, this is amazing. Because how much time has it spent actually on barrique?
Oh, a very short time, actually. About 9 months.
Okay, that's pretty impressive. No,
yeah,
is just, this wine is like, if there could be an ambassador of Swiss wines, this lady or gentleman would win the election. It is something where this wine. I'll tell you how I would note this. This is the best Chardonnay I have tasted in Switzerland to date. Actually, it would be really a lot of fun to do a blind tasting with this in France and see what people would think there, because they would never tie it to Switzerland. And that shows you that Swiss wines, they are so varied, they have so much potential. And this is, for me, how I would know this. This is 94, 95, easy, with a tick. And I want to actually meet the gentleman in question. So if you're watching this, Mr. Schott, I would like to do a proper tasting with you and see what other creations you have. This is impressive. This is, by the way, the highest note a Swiss wine has ever gotten on TLTV.
Wow. I scored 95 points for this Chardonnay.
This is fantastic.
And I think this is a wine which, as more people as possible, as most people as possible, should have the opportunity to taste. You know, there are many nice things on the world to discover. So, but now we just have the chance here to taste this wine, and these are wines which are pretty rare.
How many bottles are produced?
A few thousands.
Okay, so it's less than 10,000.
Less, absolutely.
So this is a rarity. So if you're actually in Bern, if you fly into Zurich or Bern, visit the Bielersee and as well Neuchâtel, Neuenburg, because there are some really cool wines created here. It's funny, the first time I remember first of all, it's very pretty here, most wine regions are, but you do find little gems tucked away, and this is big wine. So
absolutely.
More notes you will actually have on the screen. Also, this is 95. It's a shame to spit it out. You get the characteristics of the Chardonnay. This is where the winemaker transferred the vineyard into the glass. And this is where I always say the grape, and especially Chardonnay, has the ability, is only a vehicle, it's like an automobile, to transport the wine, the terroir, into the glass. And this is where this has succeeded extremely well.
Well, yeah, the mission of the winemaker is trying to let talk the wine.
Absolutely.
And the winemaker is the assistant. The wine is the product, the boss. It exists and it's here to be treated like someone or something which has to be appreciated. And wine has all purposes which are needed to give the best, but it needs the assistance of the winemaker. Grapes are talking to the winemakers and telling them if something is good or not good, because the nature, the plants show through several acts, reactions, if they appreciate something, treatment or a way to work. So the winemaker really needs to listen to his grapes, to his plants, and to make the best out of it.
Absolutely, and this is where Mr. Schott has succeeded. This is
Absolutely.
fantastic. So it is a shame to pour it away, but we have to progress to the next one. We're moving countries. We're going to France.